Day 5. Welcome to day 5. I am overwhelmed and humbled by the responses to yesterday's video. A few of you guys messaged me and sent me some deep, heartfelt messages about how I'm showing up and what it means to you, and I really appreciate that. Today I wanted to talk about being with heavy emotions, being with difficult circumstances. I am, as I've mentioned in a previous video or two, I'm going through a difficult challenge in my life, and when going through difficult challenges, I think it's helpful to go to the teachers and the people who have helped you in the past. And one of them is David Hawkins. And I haven't read Healing and Recovery by David Hawkins prior to this, but David Hawkins' work has deeply impacted me. So I figured, why not go back? And I was reading chapter 8, Handling Major Crises. See that? Yeah. And there was so much in it that really spoke to me so deeply that I figured I'd share a few passages, because maybe you are also handling a major crisis of your own, and maybe you would like some help navigating through that. So I'm going to read a couple passages and hope they resonate with you. And even if you're not going through a major crisis, this just helps with everyday life. So, it is surprising that the only thing to be handled in acute catastrophic events is the energy of emotions themselves. If we look at the experience, we see it is not the event that happened, or we think it happened in the world, that is the problem, but the way we feel about it. Who cares about the facts? They do not mean anything in and of themselves. It is one's emotional reaction to the fact. The fact is only a fact, a nothing, quote unquote. How we feel about the fact is therefore the only thing we really ever have to handle about the events in life. And he goes on to say, yes, one says, but what about the events out there? What am I going to do now with no money? What am I going to do with no husband? And so on. Surprisingly, the events are very easy to handle. There's no acute catastrophe. The events themselves are really just handled in a mechanical way once the feelings are set aside. There may be some reluctance, resentment, or regret, but these are minor things. The handling of the actual issues within the phenomenal world, within one's daily life, is in contrast much easier. They are not the real problems. The thought that they are is just coming out of the energy field of negative emotions, where they seem catastrophic, hopeless, unbearable, and insurmountable. Once a person comes out on the other side of it, life adjusts itself. Something else comes in to fill the vacuum, and life goes right on. Those issues were simple to solve once the emotions were out of the way. Life presents the solutions to all problems. Life presents the solutions to all problems. Necessity is the mother of invention. So whatever dilemma appears in one's life will resolve itself, and the energy of life resumes. Life goes right on, no matter how major the catastrophe seems at the moment. Therefore, the problem is not handling the event out there or the circumstances of life, because they will handle themselves. Usually relatives or close friends will handle a situation for the person who is impaired by the overwhelm. The problem is handling the energies that arise. So, if we can get behind the notion that the problem that you think is the problem is not actually the problem is how you feel about the quote-unquote problem, that to me is so helpful, because the facts are the facts of what happens, but the story that we tell about what the facts mean, that makes all the difference. And so when you're in that negative spiral, which I've had the tendency to do over the past month, this is what is actually most effective, and I found is most effective. A very effective technique to use is to ignore the thoughts, because the mind will never figure them out. For it does not have the capacity to do so. So David Hawkins suggests not thinking and ignoring the thoughts. And then he goes on to say, it will be helpful if one can accept the fact that one does not have to do anything about external events or even figure them out. A person cannot make any progress by looking at the thoughts because they're endless. That's the way it feels. You're in that emotional state of overwhelm, of anxiety, of feeling regret and feeling like you should have done something differently. It's never ending. It'll go and go and go and go. So how do you get out of it? The technique is to allow oneself to experience. In fact, to get over this situation in a hurry, just ask for more. Say to yourself, I want more of it. I want more of it. And the events in life are the excuses for letting go of the compressed energy, because it becomes unbearable. The mind finds a way to discharge it that is acceptable to us. And when we stop naming, labeling, or calling the energy something, we no longer have to handle it. When you stop saying that there is something wrong with you, why not, if you feel some emotion in your body, just witnessing it, being with it, say, I want to be with this sensation in my body right now. If you can really sit with and be with the sensation that you don't want to experience, it stops. I mean, I had this experience the other day where my friend Talia was going to pick me up. I'm sitting on a bench. I feel this energy, like my heart getting pulled, like it's in two. And then I'm just saying to myself, just be with it. I want this. I love this experience. I enjoy this experience. I enjoy this experience. I enjoy this experience over and over and over again. By the time she actually picked me up, I did enjoy it. I said, oh, wow, I don't feel bad anymore. I don't feel like there's any sensation in my chest, because it was a sensation that just needed to be felt, to be with. This is a new experience to me. My friend Elle Beecher likes to talk all the time about how you want to feel the feeling, feel the feeling. I genuinely, prior to the last month, had no clue what my friend Elle was talking about. Feel the feeling. What in the world does that mean? It means when a sensation that you, quote unquote, don't want to experience arises, can you be with it? Can you pretend that it's a little child who just wants to be seen and talked to and sat with without trying to change it? It sounds wild, but it actually works. And I've experienced that firsthand. And that is what David Hawkins suggests as well. David Hawkins says, stop thinking about the problem when you're in it, and feel it and be with it. So what it means to let go of, what it means to surrender, is to be with the thing that you don't want to be with. So stop calling your emotion anything that you're experiencing. Just view it as a sensation. Just be with that sensation and watch it pass, because it will keep persisting and persisting if you try to create some force against it. This has been one of the most important lessons I've learned in the past. I've learned this lesson in the past week, really, but you know, it's been a tremendous process to feel my feelings and in deeper and deeper ways instead of resisting them. So thank you for this opportunity, for helping me learn to feel the feelings instead of resisting. And thank you for watching. And I hope this video served you in some way. The book is Healing and Recovery by David Hawkins. Highly, highly recommended. And hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Be well. Peace.